What's going on, guys? My name is Matt Omega and welcome back to Submachine Legacy, where today we'll be tackling Chapter 9, The Temple. So, did you travel too far or too early? What if I told you neither? Screw off. I have no time or patience for your roundabout Kingdom Hearts-ass bullshit. Light of Shiva had drawn Murtaugh to live in the lighthouse. Because apparently Shiva's behind basically everything at this point. Light of Shiva had drawn Liz to leave the lighthouse. Probably for the best. Anyway, recollect our little navigator friend here. And as I was saying last time, the temple here is a location where we can change layers all we want, but basically nothing changes. Because we are right in the heart of an area of the subnet known as the Knot, where the plan, it basically takes perfect effect. Where the structures here exist exactly as they are, as intended, across every layer. Which is pretty cool. So for the sake of said plan, it's unfortunate that they were never able to completely see it through. But, like I said last time, really don't know what the actual intent of it all was. All we know is that for some reason they wanted to be able to build structures and possibly other things that could exist in all layers at once. Don't know why. Anyway, now we have Karmic Water, which is context sensitive as all hell. We just find these little golden balls like this, pour some in, and it does a very convenient thing. Which is basically all we really need. And so with that, we can actually move down into the titular temple. It's just a big old pyramid, pretty much. Take that scarab beetle there, I can put it into this thing. And convenient scone, scone tea is probably what that was going to sound like. Because I can't go through a single bloody recording without having some form of stroke. Anyway, so you'll notice we're missing a ladder here, and here is a very convenient ladder rung. For God's sakes, don't ever put this ladder rung into this ladder. It is easily probably one of my least favorite things in the entire series, what is actually happening with this right now. Anyway, we need to go to the second layer, get ourselves a brass key. Got a little bowl. So what you're supposed to do, if for some reason you want to go back up, which we do because there's a bloody, there's a box up there, put down that bowl, pour in some karmic water, and create a new ladder. Don't ever, ever put the ladder rung into one of these holes. Because you'll never be able to get it back out, and we need it. It is, frankly, absolute bullshit. And I'm genuinely unsure why Skutnik allowed this to stand. It's giving me flashbacks of the original extended version of Submachine 1. Except, in that one you kind of have to try to screw yourself over. This is just all too easy. It's not fair, and it's stupid, and I hate it. Anyway. Enough of the ranting. Let's move on to bigger and better things. So we can start collect a few more tiles because, well, they're just the bread and butter of this series, really. And thank God, no more lag. That was a very unfortunate thing about... I never noticed it so much in the web version, but we saw it plenty when I played the HD Flash version. where a number of screens in this game, especially those with like these structures like this, lagged a lot. Because apparently outputting them into HD through Flash just really didn't like it. Don't know why, but it is what it is, and it didn't exactly look great. But here, no problem at all, because, well, I think it was a Game Maker Studio, I want to say. This was remade. So it's definitely handling things better than Flash did. Okay, 6th layer. Start depositing our tiles. One more to find somewhere. Which is what we need that for. Yeah, I like the fact that this is a jadeite tablet instead of just the old stone tablet, because it stands out a lot more, because for whatever reason, I found this incredibly easy to miss whenever I was playing the original. It really says a lot about me that I can play these games over and over and over and still forget stuff. I don't know what my problem is. Anyway, a masculine sarcophagus ornament. I think these were just called stone eyes originally, but yeah, that's quite the description there. When Motar put his arm into the waterfall, he noticed that he no longer had an arm, but 7 of them. That was not something unexpected. What is a miracle, though, is that after he removed his arm from the water, he could still see all 7 layers of his left arm. Not longer after that, he understood that focusing them all in one place created a portal. That was because all of his arms from all of the layers met at one place and caused the interdimensional karma flow at his fingertips. That is how Motar's karma portals work. He brings all 7 layers of his missing arm together, and it creates a portal between the layers themselves. Ding dong. Nice little bowl down there, which we can immediately use on this. Now this other statue I was thinking of. Yeah, so now we've rung 1 bell, it now has a little earring. But we need to complete that friendly guy's jewelry in order to for him to do us a solid. Yeah, like I said, karmic water, context sensitive as hell. And very convenient. We need to be on a different layer, so just keep on going through, trying to figure it out. This is what you need to use the ladder rung on. And why this whole situation really sucks is that, no, it's not required for progression, but it is required to get a microstabilizer. Considering that you find this thing right in front of the missing ladder, it'd be very easy to think, oh, I just need to put this back into the ladder, and you know, I'll be able to make a new ladder. It's very easy to think that. But doing so screws you out of a secret. And keep in mind, in the original game, the secrets were required in order to get the extra lore. In order to gain a better understanding of everything that's going on. This one really bad design choice actively locks you out of information. And I do not like it one bit. Anyway, second microstabilizer there. It's basically the one thing with this entire series that I find really rant-worthy because, wow, is it just a dick move. Anyway. So, what layer was I on? No. Right, so we need to find another thing. We shall, we'll look for another thing. Well, we can use this lever handle here. And we did see another... Is that an Eye Horus or Eye Wedgeat? I want to say Eye of Horus. Alright, brings down a rope next to this matching eye. And now we have a feminine sarcophagus ornament. So we're just assuming their genders now. Because that's a wise thing to do in this day and age when everyone's being... Yeah. When Murtaugh saw the cat changing the layer of reality, he falsely connected that event with Einstein's theory of relativity. That was because in those early days, Murtaugh was just beginning to understand the structures of reality. During his intellectual growth, he was able to come across the cat several times. He grew attached to the animal. When asked to take care of the cat, Elizabeth took him back to his appropriate dimension in the first layer. So Elizabeth is also able to traverse the layers somehow. I doubt she uses the same karma portals Mer did, considering that she was actively warning people against the use of them. So, I don't know, there's gotta be something else. Liz is still one of the biggest mysteries in the entire franchise, as far as I'm concerned, because how she knows and is capable of so much more than she lets on is... yeah. Still don't completely understand what's going on with her. Anyway, now that we have this this big old bowl on a stick, we can chuck that into here. Throw in some karmic water, which gives us a lever to pull. Which is very convenient, because right near where we got that bowl in the first place, it turns around this little junction for us, allowing us to get another microstabilizer. There are only 5 of these in this game, so... yeah, and they're all exactly in the same place as the first time. Well, that's fucking ominous! Yep, Tomb of Murtaugh. Which was a huge deal when the original temple came out, and we saw this, because... what the hell, man? Murtaugh's dead. We of course know better now, but at the time, that was still like a major shock. Nobody could predict that the Enlightenment would cause such destruction. Even Murtaugh himself didn't know what happened. He was already looking at all layers at once. He was already removed from one-dimensionality. To be back in only one layer, Murtaugh had to lose his focus. After he focused his mind back on the structure of the plan, his exploration teams didn't understand what happened. Some called it abandonment, others, rapture. No wonder they panic. They did not even have a philosophical device to comprehend the true nature of his disappearance. So not only was Murtaugh able to see all layers of his arm, he basically existed in all layers at once. I assume thanks to all the multitude of karmic energy running through him. Normally, you're not supposed to be able to do that. But after he lost his focus, well, not as much lost, discarded his focus, then he could truly exist in one layer again and actually be able to right his wrongs. Speaking of wrongs, Karma Portal, which gives us a gate key. And here, Murtaugh's sarcophagus. Murtaugh the Powerful, the Caretaker, the Overseer. So we throw on the masculine sarcophagus ornament. And he is dead. He is truly dead. That is his body right there. Well, it's a version of him anyway. But that, we get the golden seal of Murtaugh. Alright, so let's explore the other side of the tomb down here, shall we? So we can throw that on there immediately. Which we can see over here is doing some stuff behind the statue. There's a thing here. We'll open that up momentarily, but first we'll open this gate instead. And another tomb. Specifically, the tomb of Elizabeth. Another part of the big shock, not only is Murtaugh dead, so is Elizabeth. The two people we're chasing after are already long dead. Which, back in the day, was quite the mess around, because what the hell are we supposed to do now? Why does Murtaugh only talk to Elizabeth? She's the only person he can see. Remember, we're one layer. We're like a drawing on a piece of paper to him. A drawing that was erased, redrawn, and erased again. 7 times over. Which implies Elizabeth may also exist on all layers at once. So she probably has a lot of, if not all, the same karmic power that Murtaugh has, only she's a lot smarter about it. Alright, we can throw this brass sphere in here. Open up another portal. So if it wasn't obvious so far, the temple is basically just the game of just abundant revelations on how things work about, you know, the nature of Elizabeth and Murtaugh, their relationship, and a lot of things going on within the overall story of the Submachine series. Elizabeth, the merciful, the healer, the mother. Yep. Like I said, she's dead too. There's her body. They are all dead and gone. Kind of. Alright, we finish up with that, and that opens this down here. But we're still missing some stuff. First of all, let's go over this way. Pick up this brass scale. Was there something else over here I was supposed to... Because what have I got here? Got 3 microstabilizers. Oh, yep. No, I know what I'm doing. There's one of the missing microstabilizers in the cow statue, because over on the other side, next to Elizabeth's tomb, we flick that switch on that cow statue there, which opens up this panel on this cow statue here with our 4th microstabilizer. Now, we're going to go through the very repetitive process of getting the 5th. Head all the way back up. So we can throw this karmic seal into here. What layer do we need to be on? 6, which gives us the brass valve. I think it's the layer above. This. So the brass scale here. And that should be a bit of an indicator of what it does. It's going to open up those grates for us down on the tomb level. So, flick it open to the left. That opens up this grate here for us, which we can push that lever. Now go all the way back up. Tilt that to the right. Go all the way back down. And right in front of Elizabeth's tomb, this one opens up. And pushing that lever pushed this thing through, which grants us our final microstabilizer. Alright. And that's it. It's time for endgame. So we can use the brass valve here to open up that hatch for us. Get us a big old rope. And get a lovely, lovely view of all things the Hindu god Shiva. Probably shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. We've had a fair few religious and mythological references of a bunch of things. I mean, references to Egypt keep popping up all over the place. We just saw the Eye of Horus, or Wajad, or whatever the friggin' hell it is. We saw, like, that mural of Thoth back in the edge, yada yada. Shiva, though, was definitely one that really was not expecting. Anyway, down at the bottom of the giant Shiva statue here. Big old pretty thing. Yeah. So layers 2, 4, and 6. And layer 3 here. And as we know, the third layer isn't exactly in the best state all over the place. As we're going to see by the incredibly mangled ruins of our edge transporter. But, thankfully, the energy shards are still intact. Which we are going to use on the indicated layers of this thing. Oh, yeah. And in doing that, opens up this, which grants us the almighty 8th button. For, turns out, there are not just 7 layers, there's 8. And god damn! Welcome to the 8th layer, the layer of light, where time for a lot of things are frozen to the point where light particles themselves are here, they're physical, and they're visible. The greatest mystery and misconception of the Doctrine is that Murtagh gained his powers. He didn't? No, they were given to him. By whom? By Shiva, naturally. Still don't properly understand the entire, like, purpose of... Not purpose, what's the other word I wanted to use? Purpose, motivation, just... Shiva's presence here is just odd. And something I still don't entirely understand in the grand scheme of things, but it is what it is. And now... it's time for us to move on to the final chapter. And just as soon as we entered the submachine in the first place, it's time for us to get the hell out. Which we are going to do next time when we tackle Chapter 10, The Exit. But in any case, thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, my name's Matt Omega, and I'll see you guys later.